And let's be honest, the season starts today for the New York Yankees. Yankees, Red Sox. The season's over. I mean, they're not going to play a meaningful game until mid-October, early October. But at least tonight, we get to put the Mets and the Red Sox out of their misery for good in a series that starts tonight.
Craig.
I love it.
Craig, you said something a few weeks ago.
What did I say?
And you turned out to be so right.
Yeah, well, that's like everything else I say here.
Not everything,
time.
but this one particular thing. You said the Yankees won't play another meaningful game.
Yeah.
And so as much as I'd love to say, oh, it's exciting, it's Yankees, Red Sox, Garrett Cole returns to the scene of the crime. Bro, have you checked the standings recently? The
Red
Yankees,
Sox are 11 games over 500, 10 games over 500, something like that.
No, they're 8 games above 500 because they just lost back-to-back games to Tampa.
Right. So it was 10, right?
So the Yankees have, going into this series, a 14-game lead in the American League East.
Correct.
Even if the Red Sox win every one of these games.
Don't matter.
And every one of the games next week, which is not going to happen, obviously, it's still over. So, yes, as a Yankee fan, do you have a chance to see Garrett Cole, I guess, exercise some demons at Fenway Park? Sure, if you want to tell yourself that. But you're 14 games up. You're right, Craig. This race is over.
No, it's a wrap. It's still Yankees, Red Sox, so we get some joy out of that. And in a season in which the Yankees just don't lose very often and almost never lose a series, being able to play against the Boston Red Sox and give Yankee fans another series to cheer about. And hopefully you're right. Garrett Cole exercises some of the demons from the wild card game last year, pitching in Fenway Park, which you may have to do again at some point in October. You don't know how the season plays out. Yeah. Is it a huge series? No, it's not. I can't pretend like it is. But any chance we have as a franchise to put our foot on the neck of the Boston Red Sox, especially when you consider that the New York Mets have jumped in bed with the Boston Red Sox, I'm all in. I love it. I'm all in. Put them out of their misery. Now, before we get to that, something happened last night that many of you probably didn't see, and I know nobody else in this radio station saw it because you and I seem to be the only two people that watch sports on this radio station. And I say that with all due respect to Tiki and Tierney and with all due respect to Boom and Greg. It's obvious because I listened all day. I was here very early this morning because on Thursdays, I bring my daughter into the city for her internship.
Right.
So I'm on the road at 7 a.m.
Right.
I don't know what happened from 6 to 7, but from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., not a single caller, not a single host brought something up that happened last night, which is disgusting. Disgusting.
Did I bring it up to you?
No, I saw it myself.
No, but did I ever bring it up to you? Did I say to you? Because usually when I come into work, I decompress with Craig. I say, I saw this. I felt this way. I got emotional about that. I kind of go through the evening, and you just sit there and you look at me like I'm a clown.
Well, because you're usually interrupting my TV watching or my video watching. Yes. I saw something last night, and I do not want to be accused of overreacting to it. The New York Yankees hit 2 grand slams last night. The New York Yankees hit 37 home runs last night. The New York Yankees embarrassed a bad team last night.
The Yankees
put 16 runs on the board.
The Yankees had the most hits they've had in a game in a decade last night. And it was a 0-0 game in the 5th inning. That's the best part.
Now, something happened last night that to me should be, if I'm Brian Cashman, if I'm Hal Steinbrenner, hell, if I'm Aaron Boone, the final straw. And it's something that you wouldn't even pay attention to in a 16-0 win, okay? And it involves Joey Gallo.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way.
Now, I'm watching the game last night because I don't like to miss a pitch.
You were watching the 9th inning of a 16-0 game, Craig, really?
That's right.
Are you sure?
No, that's not when this particular play happened, but yes.
Okay.
I watched every pitch of the Yankee game.
Gotcha.
I watched almost every pitch of the Met game last night, clicking back and forth with great speed.
You watched every pitch of the Yankee game, but almost every pitch of the Met game?
Well, the Yankee game got delayed a little bit.
Yeah, I get that.
So I had a chance to watch both, a lot of both, right?
Okay.
So Joey Gallo gets up against a position player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I couldn't tell you the guy's name.
Van Meter.
I don't know who it is.
Josh Van Meter.
I never heard of the guy
I think
before.
is his name.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, the guy's throwing pitches, and I don't want to exaggerate this, at like maybe 60 miles per hour.
Well, he was
It's like me and you throwing batting practice.
So he was doing something odd. When we've seen position players pitch, they do one of two things. They either try to throw hard,
okay,
or they throw really, really slow.
Like it's not an eephus pitch per se, but they kind of lob it in.
Yes.
There. Yeah.
Josh Van Meter did something that's really rare. He was throwing batting practice.
Correct.
Like his approach was, I'm not going to try to throw hard, but I'm also not going to try to throw soft. I'm going to lob it in, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Joey Gallo took a walk.
He did.
Joey Gallo was so afraid to swing the bat against a position player under the fear that he might strike out. He took a walk, and he put the bat on his shoulder with pitches, by the way, that were pretty close to being strikes.
They were, so ball 4 was a ball. I want to confirm this. But it was close. It was close enough.
Yes.
And when Gallo took that pitch, Van Meter.
Embarrassing.
I felt bad for Josh Van Meter. Like, what did this kid ask for? He's playing second base for the Pittsburgh Pirates, batting ninth.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's told in a blowout, go face the New York Yankees. And this kid's like, all right, I guess I'll do it. When Joey Gallo drew that walk on a relatively close 3-2 pitch, Josh Van Meter started laughing on the mound.
Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yes.
You didn't swing the bat. You suck.
It was a laugh of, Joey, I gave up a bomb to Aaron Hicks.
That's right.
I gave up a bomb to Giancarlo. Can you please end my misery?
Right. We all want to go home.
Hit the ball at somebody. I don't care if it's 110 miles an hour, but please don't do this to me, Joey. But instead, Joey said, I'm going to pass the baton to
Joey
IKF.
Gallo does not deserve to wear the Yankee pinstripes. He's an embarrassment to the Yankee pinstripes. Matter of fact, if Joey Gallo walked into Dick's Sporting Goods as a regular person and said, I'd like to buy a Yankee jersey, the answer should be no. You're not allowed to. You don't deserve to wear the Yankee jersey. What a joke.
So even that
the
home
guy
run
takes a walk from a second baseman.
So even that home run in the 6th inning didn't make you feel
No,
better?
it didn't make me feel better at all. He's a clown.
Dude, that was so odd to me because this kid is literally lobbing it in.
Right.
To the point where, no joke, and I'm no great athlete, I would have hit him. I would have hit a ground ball to second probably, but I would have hit the baseball.
Well, first off, you wouldn't
bat.
have pulled the ball. You're a lefty.
Yeah.
You might have dribbled it down the third base
Dude,
line,
it was
but
sick.
I'll give you this. You could have made contact.
I would have at least
I'll give you that.
tried. Like, the one thing you can't do.
You would have been thrown out by 30 feet.
True. That is true.
Because we've all seen you run.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
true. Though at that point, I'm not sure who was playing at second base for the Pirates. It may not have been a second baseman. But you cannot, when these poor bastards are just trying to end this game, you can't draw a walk on a close pitch on 3-2.
In a 16-0 game.
You can't do
He's
that.
up there going, my on-base percentage is going to be great. You suck. And by the way, Joey Gallo also spoke before the game yesterday and said, I do not want to be traded. Well, guess what, Joey? It's not up to you. There's not a lot of room on a Yankee postseason roster for a guy that bats 180 and hits one home run a month. Sorry, you're not playing postseason
Imagine
ball.
if the Yankees weren't playing the kind of baseball they were, the kind of heat that Joey Gallo would get. Joey Gallo's facing heat, rightfully so, from me, you, from everybody. And this is on a baseball team that's on a pace to win 118 games. And so that's where the anger is. If this team was losing, could you imagine the anger towards him?
No, if the Yankees were where, oh gosh, I don't know, where the Mets are.
Oh, stop.
You know, barely hanging on 2-2.
The Mets are on pace to win 100 games. Like,
and
you
by the way,
can't talk
they
down to
finished
us.
18 games behind the New York Yankees.
Well, the Yankees are having a ridiculous season.
Here's what I decided, Evan.
What?
And I apologize. I thought my voice was getting better. I went backwards last night. I don't know why.
Yeah, because you were screaming at Joey Gallo for trying to walk.
I was not screaming out loud. I just couldn't believe it. I watched the game with my kids. I'm like, can you believe this tool took a walk? It's like when we play backyard wiffle ball. And you have the neighborhood kid comes over, and he doesn't swing at anything. And you're like, dude, you've just robbed us of all the joy. Like, part of playing wiffle ball is swinging.
Like,
right?
I have no issue with Aaron Hicks hitting a grand slam. He should. Ball's
Swing
right
the
there,
bat,
swing the
right.
bat. That is the one issue I'd have late in a blowout is, are you really battling to draw that walk?
Well, if you bunted, that'd be a problem.
That's worse.
Like if Joey Gallo last night said, this is the at-bat where I'm going to lay down a bunt the opposite way.
Right.
We'd kill him for it.
That would actually
right?
be amazing.
But I've made a decision, Evan.
What?
And I made the decision driving home last night after our show yesterday. I think I speak for Yankee fans in this, and frankly, I think you'll appreciate this too as a diehard Met fan. I think the gloves got to come off.
Oh, you want to fight?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think the Yankee fan and the Met fan, why are we pussyfooting around? Like, why are we all talking about you don't bother us, we don't bother you, I'm not living rent-free in your head, You're not living rent-free in my head, you do what you got to do, I'll do what I got to do. Why don't we just do it the right way?
You're right. Embrace the hate.
Why don't we just go old school New York, go F yourself?
Absolutely, because last night,
Right.
many Yankee fans, including yourself, as the Mets couldn't hit Graham Ashcroft and Joel Cahono and Rivers San Martin and a bunch of guys that no one's ever heard of. You guys were getting ready. You were getting ready to say it. The Mets lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds.
That's right.
The Braves are a game and a half out. And I could feel it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of heat last night, a lot of pressure last night.
So let me ask you a question.
Last night would have really, really damaged me.
3-2 going into the top of the 9th last night.
Oh, they were dead.
You're dead, right?
Dead.
You're going to lose the game. You're going to be a game and a half up over Atlanta.
Yes.
Because they won again.
Yes.
And you're going to come in today pissed off.
Yes.
Because I can't believe that we lost the series to a Cincinnati Red team.
Last
right?
week, you tried to goat me into thinking that I should panic about the Mets. If they wouldn't have won last night, you would have gotten what you wanted today.
1.5 game lead and
You
a bad
would've got-
series loss.
And a series loss to the Reds.
Yeah.
And being unable to hit, Hunter Strickland and Rivers San Martin and all these guys.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you to that third base umpire, McKay, for calling a ground ball over the bag at third fair when it may have been foul. Thank you, Brandon Nimmo, for coming through with a clutch single, even though the home plate umpire screwed you on the 1-0 pitch. Thank you. Thank you, Dominic Smith, for that clutch RBI double. Thank you, Brandon Nimmo, for that 3-run bomb.
How about
Thank
the
you for
sacrifice
Adonis.
fly that tied the game 3-3 in the 9th?
Well, it was
Marte.
an RBI double that time.
Was it double? Excuse me. Go ahead.
The one that went over. Thank you,
Yeah.
Adonis Medina, for some great relief work. Thank you, because I'm telling you right now, and it's just me. I
Big
can't
difference
speak for
between
everyone.
up 2.5 and up 1.5.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You and I would have had a problem today.
What's my problem? I'm up 30 games.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have shown remorse. You would have come on the radio like an arrogant, sort of douchey.
No, I just would have been a Yankee fan, that's all.
And you would have pressed every freaking button in the world, and it would have worked.
Yeah.
Because I would have been freaking out. You kind of said it at the beginning of the show, or said it to Ack. That was, in a lot of ways, their most important win of the year.
Yeah, there have been a few of those throughout the year already that we've talked about, but so they all come in order. But I think if the Mets had lost last night, I think your guys' behavior today would have been a lot different.
Yes.
I think the possibility of going into the All-Star break in second place would have been very, very real.
Well, look,
and again, not that it matters, but it matters.
Look, it's still a possibility because the Atlanta Braves, and this is why all this talk about who you're beating on the schedule is meaningless. A, thank God the Mets won 2 out of 3 against the Reds. And B, the Braves are beating good teams.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because the Atlanta Braves are the defending world champions, and they're a really good baseball team. Like, it's not just them picking on the Washington Nationals or the Chicago Cubs. They're good. And I don't know if they're going to slow down, Craig.
Are you now going to wear that Cuban's hat every day to work?
Every other day.
Or is it just like you just breaking it in? What's the story with that?
Well, I'm going to the Mets game tonight.
At least it matches today.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I
actually.
appreciate that.
I thought of you.
Yeah, thank you.
As I was getting dressed, I
Because
said,
yesterday was brutal.
what did I wear yesterday?
You wore the rainbow shirt with that hat.
2
Didn't
days
match.
ago. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, but
Yesterday, I didn't go with the hat.
Oh, just seems like
Today, I went with the hat because I'm going to the Met game tonight.
But
so
you're color coordinated today.
Yeah.
Even the architect pointed that out. He goes,
I know.
He did a double. He's like, whoa.
He didn't know who I was at first.
Yeah.
But it was really because of you. As I was getting dressed, I was naked in my closet.
Nice. That's
And
hot.
I was looking around. And I
Did
was
you
like,
find out if you have freckles on your balls or no?
I forgot to look.
You didn't look?
Damn it,
You might
I'm
want to
sorry.
take a look next time.
But as I was standing there, naked, thinking about what I was going to wear today, I said, I'm going to wear my Cubans hat tonight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I should do? Craig would be so proud. I'm going to wear red to match with the hat. So thank you, pal.
You're welcome. Hey, real quick, Jeff's in Hillsdale.
Listen,
Jeff, you're on the fan. What's going on, buddy? Hey, Jeff.
Hello?
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got to take exception for what you clowns are calling out the Yankees left fielder.
His
and
name
right
is Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo.
Yeah, Joey Gallo, of course.
He's a
But
clown.
you know what? How can you get on him? How?
Well,
Easy.
first
The
off,
guy
do me a
has done
favor.
more.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Just turn the radio down while you're talking to us because I'm hearing feedback on it.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. All
That's-
good. No worries.
You're right about all that.
Why shouldn't we talk smack about Joey Gallo today?
Because have you done anything in your life
Yes.
to even come close to what he's done?
Yeah, I once got a
Yeah.
walk-off game-winning hit in Twitter baseball, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was the backup third baseman for the Phillies the year before they went to the World Series. What else
Yes,
do you want
you
me
were.
to do?
I'm sure you were. But where do you come off
Yeah.
getting on a guy who's struggling? You like to pick on people that they bury them?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
He's
sort
trying.
of.
Yes.
Plus, I don't
trying.
think, Jeff, I don't think you're giving me enough credit. My game-winning hit was against a lefty. and
Wow.
I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
And I went up the middle against him, so I kind of did that. Thank you.
What was that, softball in a Pioneer League?
No, it was baseball. And
It
he
was
was throwing
hardball.
And he was throwing hard. I think he topped
Never-
out at 68 miles an hour. So you know
Let
what?
me ask you a question, Jeff. Are you one of these guys that believes because they do something we can't do, we should never be critical of what they do?
No, I just didn't like the way you do it. I watched the guy, he's hustling.
He's horrendous. He's an embarrassment to the uniform.
Give me a break.
He is.
Come on.
He is.
Give me
No,
a-
Jeff, in all seriousness, I could make an argument with you that Joey Gallo is the worst Yankee in the history of the franchise statistically.
How about that?
Like, I don't know if you want to do it, but we could go through it, and I think I can prove statistically he's the worst
Hold
Yankee
on.
of all time.
I think we might be talking to Joey Gallo.
No, you're not.
Is this Joey Gallo?
But give a guy a break.
We
I
do.
mean, the
Here's
guy-
the problem, Jeff, if I may. And then please respond to this. We won't interrupt you, I promise, okay?
Go ahead.
When a struggling ball player comes out and says, under the criticism of, hey, they put that shift on you, how come you never try to hit the ball the opposite way? It's an easy base hit. Get on base more. And he comes out and says, I will never try to go the other way. I will never try to lay down a bunt. I will never try, on and on and on. And you see the guy literally batting under 200, strikes out every game, no longer hits home runs like he did earlier in his career. What are we supposed to do? Just say, oh, okay, no problem?
No.
So what do you
but
want?
To criticize him when he's down? Hey, watch other people when they're down like that.
Yeah.
They don't hustle. They don't do anything to help them in the game. What this guy is doing, at least he's doing.
Jeff,
he's
he
100%
doesn't do
all the time.
anything.
Jeff, he's been a New York Yankee now, and he's played 125 games. How much more patient are we supposed to be?
Now, that's why I asked you the question. If you believe that these guys are beyond reproach because we never played, then be that guy. I can't argue
That's
that.
a tough hill to die on when we're in sports talk radio.
But this is what the job entails. To have an opinion based on what we see.
And by the way, the reason why Yankee fans bang the drum and are concerned about Joey Gallo is not that he's going to cost them the American League East.
He's not going to. They're going to win
They're
it.
going to win the
Yes.
American League East. It's Game 5 against the Astros in the ALCS. Do you want this guy getting 4 at-bats against Justin Verlander?
No.
And the answer is clearly no.
Dude, I don't want him on the roster. Like, let me be very clear about it. It's not personal. I'm sure Joey Gallo is a great guy. And it pains me at times to have to be critical at this level. But gosh darn it, I'm trying to win a World Series for my town and my team. And Joey Gallo stands in the way of a championship. Period. Stop. And I don't give a rat's ass if he came out yesterday and said, please don't trade me. I want to stay here. We've got the best record in baseball. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Good news, Joey.
Lay down a bunt.
Good news, Joe. You won't be traded. You're probably going to be released because I don't know how many teams want you.
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling that last year when they acquired him and he played those 58 games and he was terrible, we all assumed, maybe not you, Craig, But Big Mac and I assumed he'll be better. How could he be worse?
I didn't assume that.
He's actually worse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Statistically, he's worse than what he was last year, and that is unimaginable.
Think about what you said to the caller. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I trust that you do. The worst Yankee of all time, statistically.
Yeah.
But let's make sure he gets 4 at-bats every day.
Look, I'll challenge anyone out
that's
there.
what I want to do.
And we wouldn't spend that much time on it, but give me an answer. Through 125 games, find me a Yankee. Find me a Highlander for all you
I'm
care.
not, that's your job.
Find me somebody. No, I'm challenging people.
Highlander.
Find me anybody in the history of this franchise who's been as bad as this guy. Go ahead.
I'm sure there had to be a guy that played next to Lou Gehrig or something that we never heard of.
No, because you know what usually
You don't get
happened?
this many games.
Bingo. You get caught eventually. You
Yeah.
don't get a chance to play eventually.
Yeah.
The reason why this is a winning argument, what I'm saying, is who gets these opportunities?
Right, a guy that plays on a team that's 50 games over 500. So you don't really pay attention to the warts because the collective face is so pretty. That's essentially, it's almost like Big Mac's mustache.
No, we
Like-
lived in a time.
He's so handsome.
You did not just call my mustache the Joey
Your
Gallo of my face.
Your
No, you
mustache
did not.
is the Joey Gallo
No.
of your face.
No, it is not. This is the Aaron Judge with my face.
Aaron Judge.
You kidding me?
Listen,
This pulls the whole room together.
and I'm giving you a compliment. You're so handsome.
Right, I
The
understand what you're
hair's
saying.
on point.
Yeah, I understand.
Skin tone is good.
Got very tan this
You
year.
look good.
Yeah.
And then there's the mustache. Even the soul patch is okay. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But there's that mustache. Yeah.
I love my
I was
mustache.
talking to Sarah about it. We both agree. You got to lose the mustache.
Now I know you're lying. She loves it.
No, she likes the soul patch.
She loves it all.
She doesn't like it at all.
Yep, she gets
She's
mad
just
when
not
I
gonna-
shave.
Is that right?
Yes.
Anyway, your mustache
Right.
is the Joey Gallo.
The Aaron Judge, but
of
I get your
face.
point. I understand what you're trying to say. But I do agree with the caller a little bit.
What?
Well, I mean, because you're kicking him while he's down about taking a
What are we supposed
taking a
to
pitch
do?
against a
Come
position
on, hold
player.
on. I don't know if you watched the
I mean,
entire
there's
game
enough
last
to go
night.
around about Joey Gallo, and by all means, I'm with you. Get them the hell out of
Yeah.
here. It's been long enough. But we
Hold
don't
on.
have to. We don't have to get on him for
Wait,
taking a pitch
Let me
against
ask you a question. When you have a guy who's struggling,
Yes.
all right, who, all right, he fired first home run since mid-June, right?
Yeah.
And you're going up against the second baseman who's throwing the ball 60 miles per hour. I would go up there like a fat guy in front of a buffet. No offense. And I would be frothing at the mouth. Here comes home run number 2 or a double up the gap, something. And this guy left the bat
Bro,
on
did
his
you
shoulder.
see the 3-2 pitch?
I did see it. It was very
It was
close.
very close.
I'm very surprised he didn't swing.
How could you do that when
I'm
you're
surprised.
facing a position player topping out at 62 miles an hour?
He
Come on
wanted to. He
now.
did not want to roll over on a pitch against a position
you
player, and he
saw-
wanted to have the good day, leaving the
and you
home run with the
saw
taste in his mouth.
Josh Van Meter's response.
Yes.
He was laughing.
Yes.
He
By
was
the way-
laughing at Joey Gallo.
I'm not, and I want to be clear. It was a ball, but if I'm the home plate umpire, I call it a
No,
strike.
and that's a great point. I was thinking the same thing. If you're the home plate umpire, and I
principle.
forget who it was, can you just call it a strike and say, no, Joey,
Yeah.
I'm not letting you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, pal.
You struck out looking against the second baseman. You're a clown. That's what you are. Pack up your bags, go to another team, and strike out for them. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I just
on.
also feel like if he hit a home run, we'd be talking about, oh, sure, a big 2 home run game, once against the position
No,
player.
but you know what? Maybe that would
Yeah.
catapult him to batting 203.
203?
Yeah.
What are you, high? 203?
Hey,
can't
need
get the
another-
203?
You need another 20 of those in a row. To hit
Well, I'm
203.
just trying to get him over 200. That's all I'm trying to do, really. Anyway, we got lots to do today. We'll get all your calls. 877-337-6666. It's Carton Roberts on the Fan, all the way to Yankee baseball. And yes, it's weird that Yankees Red Sox doesn't mean all that much, but bury them. That's my message to the Yankees. Put your foot on their necks and bury them. Right?
Sure.
For your case,
Sure.
hopefully you'll
It's
beat
also
the
the
Marlins.
first
tonight.
time in Fenway all year. The schedule's weird.
You don't like that?
Just July and first time
I
in
love
Fenway.
it.
You know what Isaiah Conifaleva said about this game? I thought this was interesting after the game last night.
What?
He said, this feels like opening day because I know how important Yankees Red Sox is. This is my first time at Fenway Park as a Yankee, and I'm as excited and nervous as I was for opening day.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a guy with a 20-game lead who's been maligned a little bit with this play here, saying, I feel like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You wearing that to the game tonight?
You're damn right I am.
Yeah.
What's wrong
All right.
with what I'm wearing?
Just asking.
I look good. You even said before, Evan, you look
No, you
good.
totally matched, but I didn't realize you were going to the Met game.
I'm going to the Met game today.
I mean, you're wearing a competitive team to the Mets
A
hat.
competitive team?
Yeah. The
The
New York
New York-
Cubans are not the New York Mets.
First of all,
And you're not Cuban.
They disbanded
Yeah.
before the Mets were even a team. New York baseball heritage.
Yeah.
The
I'm just
Mets are an embodiment of New York baseball. Obviously, mostly the Giants and Dodgers, but even a team like the New York Cubans.
Yeah.
So I strongly, vehemently disagree with you, sir.
I just put it out there.
A competitor's team.
Yeah.
What are you, crazy?
Who are you going to the game with tonight?
I'm going with my friend Dennis.
Dennis.
Big Dennis.
Just a new friend?
No, I've mentioned him. He goes to most of the games with me.
No, I thought Chad's the guy.
Chad is a Yankee fan.
Oh,
He
got
doesn't
it.
come to a lot of
Okay.
Met games.
So
with me.
Dennis gets to go with you.
Dennis is the go-to with Met games, yeah.
What about the other 2 seats?
I only have 2 seats.
Oh, you used to have 4, I thought, didn't you?
I did a couple years ago, but now I'm down
Not
to
in a
2.
while. Ever since the cutbacks. Got it. Okay.